Yo, what is going on, everyone in the crypto space? So today on my Twitter, I tweeted out that I'll be doing a Q&A today and asked you guys to put your comments in the reply section, and I would choose some comments to be used in today's Q&A video. So I got 6 comments here, questions about XRP. I wanted to do a Q&A video, not just on live streams, because people can't catch the live streams. And even since the live streams are uploaded, like, it's kind of hard for someone in an hour and 30-minute video to find that specific section. So I wanted to go ahead and do a Q&A today. So the first question coming from Nicolaj Nagard. I don't know. Sorry about that. People talk about jumps in value if Amazon, Visa, Google, etc. gets on board. Can you talk about the jump in value when banks start trading XRP? Alright, so let's say we did have like an Amazon, Visa, or Google announcement, any one of those. That would definitely have the short-term like price pump and price action as we saw with American Express. But the real key value, the real key long-term value is when he said, can you talk about the jump in value when banks start trading XRP? Well, banks won't really be trading XRP, they'll just be utilizing it. So the real long-term value is going to be through utilization. Like Brad Garlinghouse said in his CNBC and Bloomberg interview, he said what drives the value of a digital asset long-term is its utility in a certain market. So definitely, I mean, if we did hear an Amazon, Google, or Visa, I mean, like, I wouldn't be too excited. It's like, okay, that's great. But if it was like Amazon, Visa, or Google utilizing XRP, that's the key here. When they're just partnering with the company, I mean, that's a big deal, but that's not going to be relevant for the next couple of years until that company starts to utilize XRP. So utilizing XRP is the real key play for value here. Okay, so Dionys at Poppy__D. Is it realistically possible for XRP to hit 500? If so, what about 1,000? How long would you expect this to happen? If you do expect it to happen, that is. So now, a lot of people are saying, oh, it can't hit 100, can't hit 500, can't hit 1,000. I'm not expecting these kind of prices, but it's definitely possible. It's not out of the realm here. I mean, Bitcoin hit 26,000 on a Korean exchange, so I mean, anything's really possible in this market. But what I would say is that it would have to be utilized on a global scale. Okay, so let's say if we wanted to hit $1,000, I would make an estimate we'd have to have about 2,000 banks worldwide utilizing XRP, because for all those banks to send funds and transactions, they would need liquidity. So all that volume would inevitably drive it up to about 1,000. So I'd say if we had 2,000 banks all around the world, 2,000 different banking companies utilizing XRP, that would actually be necessary for liquidity and fast transactions through a market. So I mean, it's definitely possible. If I was to predict what time $1,000 in XRP would happen, I'd say it'd take like 6 or 7 years for that many banks to integrate XRP. It could be sooner. But also I wanted to give the example why it's necessary is because if you send $1 million through a bank that's utilizing RippleNet and Ripple is at $2, you get 500,000 XRP to send, which would make it not as fast and not as cheap. Now, if the XRP was $1,000 per XRP, that 1 million would only have to purchase 1,000 XRP, so it'd only be sending 1,000 XRP through the ledger instead of 500,000, which would make it faster. So it's definitely possible. For that to happen, it's just global utilization. The more it's utilized, the higher it's going to be, and it needs to appreciate in value to be used on a global level. So that's why another reason why I'm investing in XRP. Okay, Ripple Hourly News, recognizing from the streams. Do you think South Korea knows something about XRP that the rest of us don't? Okay, if you're asking this because of the price difference between the US and the Korean markets, the Korean market has XRP priced significantly higher if you convert their currency to ours, or the Korean won to the US dollar. It is significantly higher, but what I think it is that there's more of a demand and there's more demand for XRP, and there's overall more volume. Like, most of the XRP volume is from Korea. So when you have all that volume centered on like a smaller market, it just naturally, just the way markets work, the general market, the market psychology is if there's a large amount of volume on a smaller market, it's going to have it up higher than for not as much volume on the same size market. It's just because there's more volume and more of an interest in Korea, I believe. I don't think they know something that we don't. Because pretty much anything that's uploaded in Japanese or in Korean, we translate it to US. Anything that's uploaded in US language, it gets converted to Korean. So, I mean, I doubt there's anything they know that we don't. Alright, so Karanveer Singh says, we know Ripple have put 55% token in escrow and still holding 45% of total supply. What do you think of releasing those rest of the tokens will fluctuate / affect the price? Just want to know your insight. Okay, so this is another misconception. People think that every month $1 billion is going to be put into our market. That's not going to happen because that would flood it and cause it to actually degrade in value. That 55 billion will be sold to financial institutions. That's the whole point of that 55 billion. And the smart thing about that is it gives investors security that they can't flood the market. That's the whole point of that, not to flood the market with 1 billion coins each month. So what happens is what's brilliant about the 1 billion a month. Let's say 2 banks come in and they buy up that whole billion of Ripple for that month, and then there's let's say there's 20 days left until the next escrow release. Let's say 2 more banks come along and say, hey, we want some XRP too. And Ripple tells them, hey, you got to wait 20 days. We don't have any left. We got to wait for escrow. Now, what if the banks go, hey, well, like we want it now, like at this price? So then Ripple just goes, okay, well, you got to buy it from the regular market. So that's when banks will come into our market, bring a lot of volume, and drive the price up. That's the whole purpose of escrow, is actually making Ripple more scarce so financial institutions will end up buying it from our market. Dean M says, even though you're not a financial advisor, what would you say is a decent amount of money to invest in XRP? What I say, I get this question, not a lot, but a good amount of times. All I say to that is don't invest more than you're willing to lose. But I mean, it's kind of like hypocritical for me to say that because I invested like everything I had and I wasn't really willing to lose it. I just believe in Ripple technology. But definitely don't invest more. Like, invest and expect whatever you're investing in, expect it to drop like 80% the next day, and then think to yourself, like, would you be like really okay with that? Like, don't. Like, you shouldn't have this money like you're counting for it. Because I'm 17, like, I don't need the money. Like, the money I put in, it's not, like, if I lost it, like, I'd still be okay. But, like, just put in enough amount of money to where if you lost it all, you would still be financially stable. Okay, the last question of this Q&A. Matt Perry says, main difference between Cardano, Stellar, and Ripple other than XRP working with banks. And then he says, why most of the market's getting pumped all of a sudden. So the main difference between all those, Cardano is for smart contracts. Stellar, I really don't know, but it's a different use case than Ripple, I hear. I mean, all it's a different use case, but they all are scalable and sustainable from my knowledge. That's the main difference from just different markets that they're targeting. So they're not necessarily competing with each other. Because people think Stellar, the competitor to Ripple, and like Cardano, competitor to Ripple, but it's like they're all targeting a different market. And he says, why is most of the market getting pumped all of a sudden? Matt, cryptocurrency is starting to get into that mainstream phase. A lot of people know about it. There's been a lot of hype around it lately. I know 4 different people right now who are trying to buy it but waiting on verification. I imagine there's a lot of people like that. But overall, because of the rapid gains and the news reporting it, all these media outlets reporting about cryptocurrency, there's just a huge interest in it right now, which is why whenever the market gets the chance, it has a pump up. And I believe Ripple just hit $2.49 now. We broke resistance on the US XRP USD pair on Bitstamp, so hopefully get a nice little rally today. But yeah, that's why the market's getting pumped. It's just captive interest. There's a big spotlight on cryptocurrency right now because mainstream media has really been onto it lately because of the massive gains. I mean, this is like hyper investing. Basically, what you would make in a month in crypto would take you about 20, 30 years to make in the stock market. So cryptocurrency is like investing on steroids, and I mean, it sounds like a scam, but it's like it's crazy how you can actually make 70% in one day. There's no other market where you're gonna make 70% in one day. Thank you guys so much for watching this Q&A. Make sure to check links in the description to support the channel. If you want to go ahead and pick up a Ledger Nano S, most secure wallet out there to keep your cryptocurrency safe. And also, you can sign up on Coinbase, spend $100, get $10 of free Bitcoin, and I will get $10 free as well. And also, if you do want to follow my Twitter, I do have the link in the description. So thank you guys so much for watching this, watching the Q&A. I will make sure to do sometime. I think I'll do these about once every 2 weeks. But thank you guys so much for watching. Keep trading XRP, keep holding the coin. Long-term potential. 2018 looks like it'll be a great year for Ripple. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I will see you guys in the next video or stream.